Hi friends, I hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be doing a full face of nothing new, which is a series that I've been doing for years on my channel, where we basically just use a bunch of not new makeup and just play with it and have fun with it, create a look. I am so inspired by the way Nikki did my makeup. If you didn't see our collab video, I will have it linked down below. I've never had my makeup done before. And you know, I just am kind of like set in my ways of how I see my own face. So it was so interesting and educational to see the things that she did, the techniques she used, and also how she like enhanced my natural features and kind of like how she took my face shape and took that and then placed the makeup accordingly. I've learned a lot. I'm gonna try to incorporate a lot of those things that I watched her do. It's not necessarily gonna be like a recreation, but I'm inspired by how she did my makeup, so let's get into it. We're gonna start off by prepping the skin basically exactly how she prepped mine in that video, starting with the Naturium BHA liquid exfoliant. She said she swears by liquid exfoliants, and so I've been trying to be better at exfoliating my skin. I'm just going to apply this all over. I did my brows off camera, which I am just now realizing I'm gonna need to work around them with this exfoliant. All right, now we're gonna take the Fenty Skin Fat Water. Now, technically this is newer to me. Same with that BHA liquid exfoliator, but I've been using them for a few weeks, so I'm using it in this video because I want to do the skin prep very close to how she actually prepped my skin, and she used these two products. So I'm just gonna add that right on top. She actually used a Naturium moisturizer, which I have and love. It's the peptide one, but that's upstairs, so I'm just going to use my Embryolisse Lait-Crème concentrate to moisturize the skin. This is an oldie but a goodie. It's just a classic face cream that looks so beautiful underneath makeup. So I'm going to make sure to really moisturize the face. Kind of get a little bit around the eye area as well. All right, after we've got that on, we are gonna go into the eyes. So like I said, I already did my brows off camera, and I noticed that Nikki filled in my brows a little darker than I normally fill my brows in. So I tried to do that today. She used like a tinted brow gel. I just used my Benefit pencil. And then she took just concealer, which I have done this for years as well, but it's kind of been a while since I've taken the time to actually kind of carve out the brow area with concealer and prep the eye area with it. So I'm just going to take the Natasha Denona concealer, which I think is the one she used. And we're going to start applying this around the brows just to add some shape and to cancel out any discoloration that we have. Okay, so I'm just kind of buffing it all around the brow area and all over the eyelids. One thing I noticed that she didn't do was use a sponge, which you guys know I use a sponge like every other step. So I don't know, maybe like she's just so pro that she doesn't even need a sponge, because like my makeup turned out flawless. I'm just somebody who feels like I have to have it, like I have to press in the makeup and get rid of any brush lines as I go. All right, now I'm gonna take a little bit of powder, and I'm actually gonna use a little bit of the Givenchy Prisme Libre powder that she used on me. We're gonna set concealer on the eyelid and around, and I like to set in the brow. I can't remember if she did that or not, but I'm just going to go ahead and add a bit of powder through the brow. Then something that I've never seen done before is going back over that with a cream eyeshadow, which seems like counterintuitive in a way. I'm going to use the r.e.m. Beauty Cream Shadow in the shade Totes, and we're going to pick this up, and I'm going to take a light amount and just buff this all the way up toward the brow. I also noticed that like she took my eyeshadow higher than I typically do, so I've been trying to like mimic that a little bit better. This is a really nice, super natural shade for me. Like you can tell it's prepping the eyes, but it's just slightly deeper than my skin tone, so you still get a little bit of shape and contour with it. All right. Now we're going to go into eyeshadow. I wanted to use a Mcgrath palette because I actually did a video where you guys chose my makeup, and there was 3 eyeshadow palettes that I had you all vote on, and at the time there was one palette which I think was the Anastasia Nouveau palette, or no, I can't remember what it was. The Anastasia palette was winning, but this was a like runner-up, and then when the poll ended, this actually ended up winning, but I had already filmed the video. So we're going to use this. This is the Mcgrath Mothership. Which one is this? Divine Rose, I believe? Yeah, Divine Rose. All right, we are gonna take this mauve color right here, and I'm gonna start to create a little bit of shape and dimension right here in the crease. She actually used eye patches on me, under eye patches, which I want to go rebuy some of the Skyn Iceland eye patches because I used to use those all the time, but I've never actually used them while I do my makeup. It's always just been kind of like in my skincare routine. But it really helped to kind of like create the perfect shape for me. So I want to pick them up so that I can attempt to create a more elongated eye shape with a little bit of help from the guidance of an under eye patch. I don't know. We're just going to kind of wing it today. No, it was the Cosmos palette. It's right here. Now I remembered. Okay, I'm actually gonna kind of switch into a little bit of the Danessa Myricks Groundwork Neutrals palette because I want a little bit of this color right here, this lightest shade. One thing I really noticed about my eye look was the way that she carved this area out. So I'm gonna try to create a little bit of shape there using this lighter shade. Honestly, I feel like I could have used something even lighter than this. But I will go over it with a shimmer. Like I said, I'm not like trying to exactly recreate the actual colors of the look, just the general shape. Although I don't know how well I'd be able to do eyeliner, so we'll see if I even am capable of tackling that because the eyeliner she did on me was unreal. It was so nice. I want to take this shade from the Mcgrath palette now that I have a little bit of a matte shade down, and I'm going to try and see what it would look like to use a shimmer shade all the way in this inner corner and then sweeping it into the eyelid a little bit as well. Again, I'm just trying to like sculpt my eyes out a little bit more than I normally do. I feel like that's one of her strong points, is creating the most beautiful elongated eye shape. And I just like, it's hard for me to like see on myself, but now that she did my makeup, I studied my eyeshadow, you guys, I really did, so that I could hopefully recreate this general shape. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's not as good as hers so far, but you know, we'll keep going. I'm gonna go into this deeper kind of warm brown shade in the palette, and I'm gonna start deepening this outer area, and I'm gonna try to kind of elongate the shadow a little bit. I'm gonna clean it up afterwards. So right now I'm just kind of like building up the shape, and I'm going a little bit further out than I normally do, just to, again, practice elongating my eye shape a little more than I actually do. We're gonna do the same thing over on this eye. And then just for funsies, I wanna go into the glittery shade in this palette. And we're gonna use that all over this inner third portion of this look. Oh my gosh, like that color slash formula is what makes this palette worth it, I feel like. It's so pretty. It's unbelievable. Just tapping that on with my finger. Do we dare to do liquid liner, my friends? Here's the thing, I might be cheating a little bit because technically this is pretty new to me, but it's not new to the market. So let's just count it as something that's not new because it's the Fenty liquid eyeliner. So a lot of you might have this already. I'm gonna try to do a wing with this. I like that it's brown, so I'm gonna try. And she elongated the wing way further out than I ever have. Gosh, I need Nikki on speed dial for this. Guys, I have no idea. I don't know if they're even or not. I hope so. Okay, I feel like I'm a little different than her in the sense that I like to do my mascara before I clean up, especially when I have like glitter on the eyes. So we're gonna do a bit of top lash mascara only. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara, one of my faves. I'm gonna focus most of the product on like the outer portion to kind of match that wing on the outer edge, but I'm gonna build it up quite a bit. She also did the most phenomenal individual lashes on me, which I would do today, but I'm feeling a little lazy to be honest. And the way she did them, like she put some longer ones in like the center of my eye, which I always usually for myself put like the longest on the very edge and then I keep like the shorter ones even in the middle, but she applied some of the longer ones in the center and I feel like it just made my lashes look so good. The eyes were by far my favorite part of the makeup look. She created a shape that I've never seen on myself before and I was absolutely in love with it. All right, we're taking a makeup wipe to clean up the line here. This is where that little eye patch would have been helpful, but I think we're doing good. Just gonna press that down with my finger so it's not too harsh there. All right, now let's move into complexion. She actually did some underpainting on me, which is a technique that I feel like a lot of makeup artists use. It's not something that I personally do a lot on myself, so I'm gonna do it today. This is the Westman Atelier Contour Stick in the shade Biscuit. This is one of my favorite products for contour in general. I'm gonna pick that up on a BK Beauty 110 brush and just start to sculpt the face with this. So we start with bronzer. She actually like really used a lot of bronzer, which I really liked. I feel like that's part of what added so much shape and structure to my face. I usually am a little bit more, I wouldn't say light-handed, but I guess so. Like I usually am. Or maybe I just use, you know, a little less. That's the same thing. You guys know what I mean. But today I'm gonna like really make sure you can see the intentional sculpting, you know what I mean? Also, how cute are these starfish earrings? Come on. You guys know I wore those like seashell ones. Now I'm in like a mermaid earring era. Oh, here's what else she taught me. You know how I've always told you guys that I take the bronzer down the center of the neck? She was like, no, I never do that because that looks too obvious. And I was like, oh my gosh. She takes it on the side of the neck and truly it looks so much more natural. She did say you can like kind of drag a little bit more of what's left in the center if you want a little bit of like color in the center of the neck, but keeping it to the sides makes it look more slim, which it actually does. So that's a trick I learned. I seriously learned so much from her. All right, we're gonna keep applying. See, this is where she's much better than me at using like precise brushes. Oh, here I am just like pinching the brush and applying it here. But my theory is because you come in with concealer after and kind of like shape things up a little more, I think it'll be fine. Okay, we've got some of the groundwork laid down. Now we're gonna do a little bit of concealer. I'm just gonna take the same Natasha Denona concealer and, you know, I was gonna apply it directly to my face, but I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand first and take some of that on a brush. And this is where I feel like she elongates this area here, and then she took concealer and kind of like just followed that line, it felt like. And by the end of everything just looked so crisp. I don't know, she just did such a good job. So I'm going like a lot further up on the nose than I normally do. Also a little in the center as well, just drawing a line there. Then I'm going to use the brush to kind of drag out the remainder of the concealer underneath the eyes. I'm going to go around the nose. And I don't remember if she did this or not, but I'm going to kind of like sculpt out underneath the cheekbones since we're underpainting, just to make it like extra sculpted. Do a little on the chin as well. Now this is where I feel like I need a sponge, and I'm not going to like press too hard because we are going to blend a bit of foundation on top of that. So I want the underpainting to be a little more stark, if you will. You know, I had a foundation in mind, but now that I'm kind of doing a little underpainting, I think I'm going to switch things up a bit. I just need something a little bit more thin. I'm going to use my Makeup Forever foundation just because I feel like this is going to be a little more sheer on top of these layers that I'm creating. So now I'm going to go over with this foundation and just kind of like softly tap it into the skin, blending in that contour and concealer. Okay, now I'm gently going back over everything with my sponge. I'm telling you, I have to use a sponge. It's just so ingrained in me now. Maybe one day I'll practice not using a sponge, but for now, I have to. I can't remember the exact order of what she did next, so I'm just gonna do what I would do next and go into my Givenchy powder, which is the one she used on me. This is one that I have tried, and then I don't know, I think I just used too much because she used it on me and it's really pretty. So she actually made sure that I didn't have any under eye creases before going in with this powder. And she just used the tiniest amount and just pressed it under the eyes. This is actually Nikki's brush with BK Beauty, the N14. It's my favorite. I love it. And then she kind of added a little extra powder here as like a little mini bake, which I never do. But now I'm going to, because Nikki said so. Same thing here, just gently and precisely setting the face. And then I'm going to press some through the T-zone, just basically anywhere that I don't want any shine. So for me on the chin, through the smile lines, forehead, etc. Okay, now we're going to go back into a little bit of eyeshadow, starting off by taking the mauve shade from the Pat McGrath palette. I'm going to take that and I'm going to really start smoking that underneath the lower lash line. I feel like Nikki and I are the same in that we like a good lower lash line makeup. Some people don't. I personally feel like it completes the eye look, especially if you've got a lot going on. The top lid, you have to match the lower lash line in my opinion. Then I'm going to take a little smudger brush and that kind of reddish brown shade that we used on the top lid, and I'm going to really smudge it along that lash line on the bottom. Then I'm going to take my Chantecaille Eye Brightening Pencil and use that in the waterline. I love a good nude pencil in the waterline. Then I'm going to add a little bit of that light shimmery shade in the Pat McGrath palette just to this area right here. I don't remember her doing that. I'm just wanting to for this look. Okay, now I'm going to take my Maybelline mascara and pop that on the lower lashes. Okay, I'm going to dust away that powder. She might have left it on longer than I am, but that's okay. All right, I think eyes are pretty much done. We're going to move into some bronzer. I'm going to use a powder bronzer, just my Milani one, just to add even more oomph to the look. So I'm going to focus this on like the forehead and along the cheekbones, just to re-emphasize the exact same areas that we already applied the Westman Atelier contour. I'm even going to take some on the sides of the neck to kind of set that a little bit more. All right, I'm going to add blush. And one of the things I noticed about her when she applied my blush is the placement was so different than mine. So she applied it more toward the outside of the face. And I usually start more toward here, but I actually really liked how that looked on me. I'm using the Armani blush in the shade 51, which I think is so pretty. Then I'm going to take actually a cushion highlighter from M Cosmetics. This is in the shade Aura. It's their Moonbeam highlighter. And she didn't use anything similar on me. I just felt like using this since it was a full face of nothing new. I really wanted to incorporate something that I haven't used in a while. So I'm just going to press this onto the high points of the face. Also just a little bit down the center of the nose. She did do a little highlight down the center of my nose. Okay. One of my favorite things that she did was the lip combo. I feel like she's so good at lip combos in general. I'm not going to recreate the exact combo, but something that I did notice is that when she overlined my lips, she went quite a bit further outside of what I normally do. So we're going to attempt that here today. I'm going to use Wherever Walnut from Makeup Forever. I think she might have used Anywhere Caffeine. This one's just a little more pink, which I think, you know, with the blush color is just going to work better. So I'm keeping the Cupid's bow shape, but letting the pencil go a lot further over than what I normally do. Oh my gosh, I forgot her bestest trick. I'll do it on the lower lips. One of her bestest tricks is to take a little bit of contour on a small brush. Oh gosh, that was my favorite part. That's literally what like makes the lips look 10 times larger. We'll do it on the lower lips so you can see. So she takes a little bit of contour around the lips, pretend I did it to the top lips. I feel like that's what really matters, but oh well, it's too late. And then when you go in with lip liner, it just kind of creates more of a shadow, so your lips look more full. I'm going to fill in the outer corners of both the top and bottom lips. And then do you know what she did that absolutely blew my mind? She took powder, my friends, after lip liner, and set the lip liner. Never have I ever, but now I do. So then the lip liner doesn't budge. How brilliant is that? It's so smart. Okay, I wanted to use my Makeup by Mario lipstick in the shade Erin. I'm focusing that in just the center of the lips. I'm using the tiniest bit, just like that. And then we'll do a little gloss. Do I have a gloss? Question mark? I mean, I know I do. I'm just looking for a specific one. Aha, I found it. My Dior gloss in the shade Opal. I think this is just going to add the perfect little lavender touch to the center of the lips. And I'm letting the gloss kind of travel over the Cupid's bow where I overlined. And we're focusing this on the center. Ah, pretty. Okay. Let's revisit the brows before I set them. I think they look pretty good. Okay, and now we will assess the situation a bit. Can add a little more bronzer with what's left on the fluffy brush from the powder bronzer. I think I like the amount of blush we have. So we're going to set the face using the Airbrush setting spray, which is the setting spray she used, and it's my favorite. So let's go ahead and set the face with this. Now what I do, which she did not do, is go over everything with a sponge. Oh. And then I like to take my powder and tap a little bit of what's left back into the areas that I don't want shine. Now we're going to set the brows as our final touch, which I wanted just to use my Benefit brow gel. How did I lose that? Okay, well, can't find it, so we're going to use the Anastasia Brow Freeze Gel instead, just to make sure our brows are locked into place. All right, friends, here's the final look. This was really fun to kind of push myself out of my comfort zone and take some of the things that Nikki taught me and try to recreate it myself. I mean, I feel like she obviously did a better job than me. at so much of this because there's just certain things that I'm just not as experienced at, such as wing liner, but I don't think it turned out bad. I feel like I really do like, and I think I can keep practicing this elongated eye shape. I'm excited to keep practicing it anyway. Overall though, I'm really happy with how the look turned out. It's very Nikki LaRose inspired, so thank you, Nikki, for everything you've taught me. What do you guys think of this look? I would love to know. Leave a comment down below. Do you feel like it's that different than what I normally do? Should I have gone a little more sculptural on the eyes, or do you feel like it's different? Let me know in the comments. I always love to hear from you. As always, let me know if there's a certain product you want me to review, or in my next full face of nothing new, if you want to see a certain product reused on my channel, leave a comment on this video so I can start making notes on what to use again for you guys. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I really enjoyed filming this. It's just fun to sit down and focus more on the makeup versus like testing new products. So it's so relaxing for me to film these. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me just do my makeup. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. And yeah, that's it for me today. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.